good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another exciting session of Candid Meena. And today, we are here with some intriguing news with regards to Saif Ali Khan. And it is that surprisingly, two developments have taken place ever since the so-called stabbing incident, or whatever you call it, for what happened in Saif Ali Khan's house, the person, coming in and stabbing him, but in the medical report it is written lacerations, someone dragging him, and then this person, Mr. Zaidi, his name is there on the medical report, but people say he was bought by his son and in an auto rickshaw. And also, Mumbai police catching all the wrong people before zeroing in on Shariful Islam, who is supposed to have come from Bangladesh. And they have made so many mishaps, despite the CCTV footage showing two different people, that even a kindergarten kid can make out a difference between their faces. But somehow Mumbai police made a mess of that, and now we see that the PR team of Saif Ali Khan is suddenly very, very active. And what exactly is that news development we'll be discussing in today's session. So welcome each and everyone who is tuning in live as well as watching this in your free time. So friends, if you do like our content, make sure to hit that like button and share this video with your friends. Yes.
So welcome to Vidya, Gloria, Sharmila, Suman, and also Manjit. Welcome. Always nice to see you guys. It really makes us happy that when you are with us, it's like we're sitting face to face and discussing things. So thank you for that. And so as Jaydev said, it's very interesting that we are in this wonderful times when you can hide something that has happened and which became a very important issue in parts of India, and still it just went off like a cracker that diffused. So there seems to be something very, very strange happening here. So perhaps first, Jaydev, you could speak about the news, and then I'll make some comments about this as you tell us what is in store for this Chota Nawab.
Yeah, so let me show you the picture, friends, and this is quite interesting. Is you have in Netflix Jewel Thief of Saif Ali Khan, which is soon going to release. Saif Ali Khan is acting in this series called Jewel Thief, and apparently, he has attended the teaser launch of his upcoming Netflix film, Jewel Thief: The Heist Begins. And so you can see that he is already attending the teaser for this particular film, and this film is a direct release on Netflix. So one has to really question how he is so mentally strong, he is so physically strong that he can attend this premiere of his film just hardly a few days after the whole so-called serious accident which he had with all these so-called stab wounds and everything, and with the spinal fluid leakage and whatever the doctors, the so-called doctors of Leelavati Hospital said, and with so much of contradiction in the medical legal report, which just mentions lacerations. So one has to wonder if this is all a PR activity to get attention for his film, which is Jewel Thief. So this is another angle which looks quite obvious that all these things looks very, very fake indeed, until and unless Mumbai police, the Leelavati hospital, they come with solid evidence that all these things happen. Then people will have to question why you're making such a big fool of the audience.
Yeah. So, friends, since Jaydev has already spoken about jewel thief, you know, I would cut the jewels out because very clearly, Karina has said that jewels are still intact in the Chota Nawab household. So there is no jewels, there is theft. A theft of public property is what, I'm asking tongue in cheek, which it is, you know. So Gloria says, haha, so there's really something coming for SAK. Goodness me, they are predictable now. So I wanted to tell you people something very strange because I'm just going to read a few comments which came and which I thought were very relevant, and a person called Vanessa, a viewer, or let me just go back to that point that she made. No, I would say it's Malik, one second, let me just go to that. Yes, Malika. So Malika has written that, hello, ma'am, I'm from Muscat. Before this happened, Saif was in Muscat for a day visit. Don't know for what reason he was there. No media knows about it. Very strange. So this is something none of us knew. If this is true, what Malika has said, that Saif was in Muscat a day before he was attacked, what was he doing in Muscat is something very, very strange. And why did the media not cover it? Because every time I think about Muscat, I always think about what? I think about the insurance, that Sri Devi had, which was made in Muscat and which gave millions if she died in a Gulf state, and which is what they got. Okay. Now, is there something else in the offing here? Now, Sharmila says it's very strange, like leave about physical injury, but this incident is actually
Exactly.
mental trauma. Where one cannot be normal after this.
Yes.
Now, a very interesting comment comes from Veer Yadav. I hope you're listening, Veer, because I found it very important that I share your viewpoint. Now, you have said that the public is affected by celebrity publicity stunts in several ways. Media sensationalism often shifts attention from important issues to gossip, while frequent dramatic events may desensitize individuals to real life implications. Celebrities can influence trends and behavior, leading to the emulation of questionable action. These stunts can distract from pressing social concerns, manipulate consumer behavior, and create unrealistic expectations that impact mental health. Without public awareness and as a response to these tactics, individuals risk being further manipulated by the entertainment's industry efforts to maintain relevance. Self stabbing and Govinda's antics, the shooting antics, could exemplify how Bollywood is dying. They're desperate to create headlines to stay relevant. There will be likely be more fabricated incidents like this in the future, and I hope the Modi government does not allow the fake film industry to gain publicity through such staged injuries. The laws should be severe for such actions as the public desires a clear and authentic industry. The public hopes for severe punishment for self-staged stabbing to prevent Bollywood from ever faking dangerous publicity like this in future. You remember what happened to Poonam Pandey? It was said that she died and then she came back. So that was a stunt. Now, Veer says it's no joke. You can't fake a Bollywood stabbing story in the real world as it's dangerous and undermines its authenticity. It's sad that this is happening, especially in Mumbai, where the police have worked with Bollywood billionaires to create such publicity for decades. They have been doing this for years, but the public is now more aware of it thanks to the new social media landscape that exposes these desperate fake Bollywood. Yes. And also, there's one more point where, Vanessa says, see, when he walked out 5 days from after his hospitalization, and, he walked out and came out of the car, Saif had a smirk on his face, like he knew what they were doing. Isn't it very strange, friends, that they are taking public for a ride? And after this, also, friends, one you must know that see, everybody had a very poor opinion about Ibrahim, Saif's son, and Karina Kapoor's stepson, because there were videos of him showing him in either a drunk state or in some other state, coming out of a nightclub with many people holding him because he could not stand. So now they are trying to reverse the image by showing him in a, in a half semi nude position by Karan Johar in the coming film, so that he gets
Yeah, so
attention
I'll be
there
talk.
also.
So, friends, not only Saif Ali Khan's film is coming in Netflix, and his son Ibrahim Khan, he is being cast by none other than Kejo, right? Like we have discussed before, and it is opposite, Kushi Kapoor, Sridevi, her daughter, and so this is the name of the film Nadaniya. So this is also releasing in
No, it
Netflix.
would be, I think it will be pronounced as na, Nadania, means innocence.
Yeah. So, and this is the funny part that why all of a sudden, father and sons, films are being so aggressively promoted by their own PR when such a grievous incident happened to both of them, and they seem to be as cool as a cucumber, right? Completely unfazed by the mental trauma, by the physical trauma, the so-called physical trauma, because you have people suffering slip disc, and they cannot walk straight, a simple slip disc, right? And here you have a spinal fluid leakage, and he's walking
It's like
around and controlling the crowd, and everything, and waving to the people. So
it's
who
like
they are
even
trying to
Rajgopal.
fool? Yeah.
Yeah, even Rajgopal sir said that after his heart surgery, he could not walk. He had to walk for. He needed the support of people to walk for the next few days. And this man comes out walking like he is, a little, hopping bunny rabbit.
And
Now
also,
it's
like
so,
Sharmila
yeah,
said, the mental trauma that anyone who gets such kind of injury, he will be very paranoid about going out in the open, right? He
yeah.
will have that sort of trauma that he will have to go to psychologist. He will maybe have to go to some rehab center to just to get his mind straightened, right? So this is it all looks very very fake to me, right? It's
And Sharmila says,
yeah,
yeah, actually, one goes in low profile mode after such an incident.
yes,
Yeah. In fact, Jaydev, see, there is, another comment made by Anu Mason, okay, which I'd like to read out. And she says, when I heard the story that Saif went in a rickshaw with his young son, I knew that it was not serious, just a superficial wound. I think it's a domestic fight which got out of hand, and the media put out stories without finding out the real truth. I think they're using people to cover up what happened, and innocent people's lives will be ruined. It seems the police don't have any kind of authority, and they should be treating everyone the same. It doesn't matter who they are, money can buy anything and anyone. And these are Bollywood facts. It can only happen in India. So, yes, Lena says you can't walk straight, physiotherapy is needed. Now, here, very important, Jaydev, is something very, very strange that's happening in Mumbai. And it is that you can walk away from a crime, you know, without being accountable. You could be either the victim or the perpetrator, and still you can, rest on Santa Claus, or rather, people like Paramveer, to hide the whole stuff, you know. So, which means that any crime will be hidden after a few days because the people in authority, decide to hide it. And they say that the public are not important. This is how we work, and this is what people have been seeing for the last so many years, and they'll continue to get what they have been receiving for a long time. There is nothing like justice or anything. They're throwing it on our face, isn't it, Jerry?
yeah. So Mumbai Police, Leelavati Hospital, they have to answer a lot of questions, provided the mainstream media is still interested in this, case, right? Because it looks like they have moved on. The mainstream media has moved on from this case, and they are focusing on other, issues. So until and unless the mainstream media, they like Republic TV, they question Leelavati Hospital and Mumbai police as to how this ridiculous case can get so much of attention and exposure. Nothing is going to happen.
But Jaydev, I want to ask you a question. See, why is it important that only if mainstream media takes it up, it becomes a case? For example, in America, now Trump has decided to call YouTubers media that who are in YouTube, that is YouTube media. He's going to call them for press conferences. He is going to give them the right to attend those press conferences, which shows that he believes more in social media than this fake mainstream media. Because you remember, everybody from CNN, to all the other, in New York Times and all of them were just creating stories like, our India Today and all that, all of them writing whatever they want, anything under the roof. If Karina goes and buys a bag, they say in between this crime, she went and bought a bag, that sort of thing. So if Trump can do that, Jaydev, why can't our country
because
also do that?
our government in India is still old-fashioned in many aspects, even now. So they don't believe that the power of social media, especially Twitter, X, social YouTube, and Facebook. They don't think that these social media people should be even allowed in press conferences of political parties, right?
Yeah.
Whether BJP is holding up a press conference or other political parties, they don't invite political YouTubers or political Twitter people who have a lot of following. So maybe they are really scared of answering the real questions, which mainstream media, will ask very comfortable questions. They won't
Yeah,
ask
which is
tough
correct.
questions.
Which is
So that
correct.
is
What you
also
said
the
is correct.
reason.
Yeah, which you said is correct, because when the police had a press conference, they did not answer any questions. Even the mainstream questions they did not answer. Can you imagine if there were YouTubers, strong, hard, hard tough, they would have given them a real, right. So what you say is so true. Now, Lina says, how did the insurance company release so much money so fast? Why? Because it was a high-profile case. Now, see, Lina, when when things work for Bollywood, they work pretty fast, because in the case of Saif, they found someone who has crossed the river, and come so fast and wrecked the place, and changes his face every time he's in the on the CCTV camera. So this kind of person they were able to catch and say that he is the one who stabbed Saif 6 times and left part of the knife inside his body, and he just did all that. He's a Superman. Isn't it strange that in Sushant Singh Rajput's case, everything was there out for you? The location, the mobile location of the people who were involved in the crime, everything was there out, and yet the government did nothing. But within few days, they got a Bangladeshi whose father also could not recognize the CCTV footage and say, "This is not my son." This is how powerful Mumbai police is, or the tutoring that they're getting. See, usually you say that, see, you come out of Cambridge, or you come out of Oxford, or you come out of IIT or IIM. We always say that gems come out of there. So I would say the gems of Bollywood, or no, I wouldn't say Bollywood, gems of Mumbai police, come from certain university. And I'm sure, but this, what is his name, Jaidev? The executive director.
Paramveer Singh.
Yeah. So I think Paramveer Singh has got the status of a professor, because he has got, he is, his, the way he's trained the people. Now he's moved on, of course, he's moved on to greener pastures. But the way he has trained the police, it is like, what you would study in Cambridge or IIT or IIM. So this is something that we have to give it.
I mean, the person who should be asking the questions, at least, is Nitesh Rane in BJP. So he has the political power and he can ask the questions, right? He can make this an issue. So if it is up to him, he can ask the right questions.
Yeah. So Lina says Niva Pupa also needs to investigate that Saif's injury was that he was asking 37 lakhs or 39 for just 4 days hospital stay. Something is wrong. Also, don't forget, Lina, he came back with a tight fitting white shirt and tight fitting jeans. You know, whatever injury you have after such a big operation, anything that presses your body will hurt you. But this man, he is walking around like, no injury. And some, just like, when you hurt your, finger with a small blade, he's got plaster on his neck and, somewhere on his hand and all that. And he's showing that off. He thinks we are all fools. This is the problem. He thinks everybody is a fool. And that only Bollywood are the intelligent people in this universe. So let's take a few more comments. Cedric says, as I've said earlier, this is a family issue. Now they can't complain and say what the problem is because their true colors will come in the open. This has always been a personal issue, Cedric. Because why I would say is that why did Saif take the child to the hospital when he was bleeding profusely, more like a lion? When what happens is if you have children at home, and if something happens to you and you bleed or somebody else bleeds, the first thing we do is protect our children and move them to another room so that they don't have to see this gory nonsense. Okay. But here, Saif took his son. It was as if to tell him that please don't open your little mouth, in case the police or anybody, nosy neighbors or nosy paparazzis ask you any questions, don't say, Papa, maine ye dekha ya Mummy, maine ye dekha. Okay. So you have to, and then what happened? Next day, toys appeared, miraculously for the children and not little balls or something, very expensive scooters. So that means it was a very big thing that the little Taimur had to hide. It was not a small thing. It was something very huge. And he had to completely 100% trust Taimur not to open his mouth. And in between all that, we also saw that Karina was very, very angry and agitated. Now, she's usually like that normally also. But in this case, it was like she's going to bite Saif. So you can make out that this is an internal fight, just like Cedric said, there's something terribly wrong in the house, and the children have been witness to it, the servants have been witness to it, and the attendants have been witness to it. And if there were any drivers around, they were also witness to it. And they won't talk about it because then their brand value will go and Jewel Thief will become a flat zero. Okay. And Ibrahim's movie will not even see the daylight. This is what is going to happen if the truth comes out. And my request to all the boycott Bollywood people here is that continue to boycott Saif, continue to boycott Bollywood, and continue to boycott Karan Johar. Okay, do not give them the satisfaction when they sneer at you, when they smile at you and tell you that we don't care a damn what you do. This is how we live. You better take it. We will use the public money. We don't care to whose. You don't want to watch our movies? Go to hell. So this attitude, we will also give the same attitude. Now, next time, like poo, we will also, we don't want to see Bollywood movies. That is how we should also, behave. So let's take a few more comments, Jyoti. Very interesting ones coming. Sanju, welcome. As always, nice to see you. After surgery, difficult. Will be there to walk? That guy was walking, cool. Even if he was given a high dose of painkiller, even then, he looked like he was coming out of a gym. Arijit says, a Wednesday, a film I admire, where a common man takes the Mumbai police for a ride. Yes, it was good. To silence the kids, toys of high end surfaced out of, yes, absolutely. And there is a big secret behind it. And we really don't know what is the secret. That's to buy the, yes, absolutely. Saif wasn't scared that while he was in surgery, his son was sitting outside alone. No, Alina, there is something very, very devious here. Somehow the child had to be silenced. So what did the child see? That Saif, the lion, who came bleeding, was so scared that his son will speak about. So you see that, when a lion is scared of a mouse, so then the secret is bigger than what we imagine. And one thing I must tell you, friends, is that look at the way, the whole thing has gone underground. This whole news completely, as though it never happened. Not even a whisper now. Now everybody is talking about a jewel thief, who nobody except PR. And of course, Netflix, because they have a movie to sell. Similarly, in Karan Johar's case, Karan Johar never spoke about the case. Why? But he chose the moment to cash in on his movie, so that people watch it. Because nobody even knows who is Ibrahim. Is he the drunkard guy that we see on a video? Is what people are going to ask. So this is something that Karan
So
Johar is
anyway,
very wise.
it is Poonawala's 1,000 crores he has got in his company. So he doesn't care who he's going to cast and waste, that money on, right? So, so friends,
Meena,
Also, meanwhile, there was on Twitter there was a very interesting thing, and it has become the talk of X, right? And it has been trending that apparently Udit Narayan was seen in an event, and apparently there was a female fan, who came up to him and kissed him on the cheeks, and he in turn kissed her back, and so this is it has got mixed reactions, that saying that he was criticized for this particular action, but I really don't know what to think about it, because I do think maybe these singers or actors in India, at least, they should have some sort of decorum in the public, and they should keep some sort of certain rules when it comes to their fans and how to behave in social places. So this is at least my opinion, but yeah, opinions may vary in these cases. Yes.
yeah. So in this, I was very clear, Jaydev, when I saw the video. I saw that it was he had knelt down to give this woman a hand, and
Okay.
the woman actually kissed him on the cheek. So the moment she kissed him on the cheek, he kissed her. So it was actually she who provoked him, to kiss her. So I wouldn't blame Udit at all, because see, Udit and people like Udit, who are singers, they thrive on moments like this because that gives them more mileage. And Udit would not have done it without encouragement. So I would not blame Udit entirely. It is the woman who actually provoked him to do that. And just like Vidya says, I saw an old video. Yeah, yes, it is an old video where okay, you are talking about Shreya Ghoshal, and she shocked. She was shocked and embarrassed. So maybe this guy has the habit of doing that. So something that I found rather amusing. Now Sanju says, "Ma'am, I saw one reel in Insta Karan made. Alia dance for Hey Jumka, made every audience to stand and dance with her. In comments, people are asking, is it a national anthem for everybody to stand? Why do people stand? Is my question then. You know, if people, think that Karan Johar is the lord, of it all, then they should stand, isn't it? If they think he's a lord, then that's what he's using. As we are going to watch the movie, whatever it is. Yes. Cuba says, Turkeys of Bollywood. That lady herself was shameless. She was so happy. Yes, exactly.
Maybe if
Not even worth it.
If Udit Narayan has a PR company working for him, maybe she could be a planted person by
Yes,
that PR
yes, was a,
to
because
create
he's
some
now
sort of
fossilized. Yeah.
publicity.
Anyway, it was, as Cuba said, it was not his fault. Not at all. So, so that is something not even like Jede worth discussing. But then, of course, so again, coming back to this point, Jede, is that look at how the case has been closed. The safe case where a big knife, long knife, went into the body, became three parts. Half was inside, half was outside, half was in the garden, and God alone knows where the handle was. So, and nobody is questioning the hospital. Nobody has the guts to question the hospital. And nobody, even 100, 2,000 people have asked for CCTV footage of Saif entering the hospital with little Taimur. That was not shown because it has become a habit in Mumbai to treat people like dirt. You can ask 100 questions. You can ask about Sushant Singh Rajput. You can ask about the Shah Salian. You can ask about Jia Khan, Janvi Kukreja. You're not going to get an answer because they have got used to corruption. They've got used to murders. They've got used to protecting celebrities. So they are not answerable to you. They don't care to hoots. It's the same attitude that Karina throws every time saying that, don't watch my movies if you don't like it. Then why should we watch your dance in IFA? You don't want us to watch your movie, but you want to want to watch us shake your booty, right? Isn't that a strange this thing, a situation?
Yeah, I mean, the power is with the people. End of the day, that people choose what to consume as content, whether it is going to the theaters or whether choosing what to watch on Netflix, right? Because watching it is quite obvious that Bollywood films, are on the decline, and they have been suffering ever since South Indian films have made such a huge mark. And now is the ample proof of that, that Pushpa 2 is crossed so many crores, and all these Khans, they don't know what to do, so they resort to such unbelievable scenarios.
So, friends, I also, before we end this session, I'd like to tell you that we'll be doing a detailed review of Pushpa 2, which I think is a brilliant movie made in a very beautiful fashion, very slick. Yes, it's violent, but the movie is taken so brilliantly that I would say it can be compared to any Hollywood action movie. So I'll be doing a detailed review of that movie. So friends, please look out for that when you're watching our programs. We are not watching Karina movies. All her movies are flop. Absolutely. Anurag Kashyap is focusing on South Indian films. I saw Malayalam movie Rifle Club. In that movie, he is the villain. Yes, he is a man nobody can stand. So best he is avoided. Yeah. So with this, we end the session. Thank you so much. Good night. Jai Hind and Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.